I'm Nicholas. My wife's name is Stephanie Fong. We know her by Steph, or friends call her Love Chef because of her love for food and her ability to create beautiful and tasty dishes. I call her my beloved. Yeah, she's my whole world. We do everything together, even in business. So we can pretty much switch between business talks to dating talks very seamlessly. But what we do enjoy is, most of all, is each other's company. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we do as long as we are together. We are perfectly happy, contented. Just sitting there having coffee, chatting with each other, reading a book. The world is beautiful enough. I remember our wedding preparation. One of my childhood dreams is actually to give my wife a wedding gown. So I told Stephanie that I want to give you a wedding gown. She loved the idea. We thank the Lord that we found a very good designer, and he was willing to do it for her. I remember very well that my wife fits very well, beautifully in everything. So the gown was beautiful. She looked beautiful in it. I just love seeing her trying the gown. Took lots of photos. I think the designer said I was probably the most excited groom. For the photos I take, I literally couldn't stand still. I was taking from all the angles. I'm very glad that her gown is still here hanging in the closet. That she could have it, and it's hers. The preparation for wedding is hectic, but if I'm given a choice, I would love to live it again.
It is finished. Moments after uttering those words, Jesus died. Words that don't just mark the end of his life, but also a mission accomplished. What was this mission? Why did he have to die? Why did he willingly set himself up to be betrayed? Did not resist arrest, did not defend himself at his trial, and then allowed himself to be brutally tortured, and finally dying in a manner that is considered cursed among his people? The short, simple answer: that was the price he paid to reunite us with God. It was a rescue mission. In the very beginning, God created human beings for a relationship built on love. And because of love, God gave us free will, because love without the freedom to choose is not love at all. It was all perfect until the first humans made a choice to rebel against God, and that's when sin first entered our world. Sin simply means to miss the mark, and we have missed that mark from that first act of disobedience towards God. Ever since then, a separation exists between God and humanity. And this separation is death, spiritual death, the cutting off of a person from God, the only source of true life. And Jesus came to make it right by taking on the death penalty himself. Why did Jesus, or anyone for that matter, have to pay such a price? To understand that a bit more, we have to know a little about God's character. God is merciful, but God is also just. When a wrong is done, justice must be upheld. And at the cross, Jesus brought together both these characteristics of God. True mercy can only exist when true justice is required. If not, that mercy was not needed in the first place.
Imagine this very simplified analogy. You borrowed my mobile phone and you broke it. You brought it back to me and said, "You're really sorry, but you can't afford to buy me another one." I said, "It's okay. I forgive you. It's all good." But you know what? I still had to pay the price to buy a new phone. At the cross, there was justice as the penalty for sin was paid for. But at the cross was also mercy, because that penalty was paid for by the Son of God Himself. And because the penalty of sin has been paid for, eternal death that was the consequence of sin was also abolished, paving the way for us to be reunited with God. And when Jesus rose from the dead, He showed the world that He had defeated the last enemy of humankind, death itself. Rescue mission accomplished. It is finished.
Stephanie passed away due to cancer. It was not a very long time. It was just about a year and a month. But I got to spend some of the most beautiful moments with my wife. For a cancer patient, for the amount of so-called cancer that she has in her body, she was not skin and bone. She was pretty much looking like a normal person. Even her complexion looks better than all of us, still rosy cheeks. Her faith has never wavered. To me, that is the best reminder my wife gave me. Rather than preaching to me about faith, is to see her live it out. When she was healthy, she was already a person of faith. But when she had to go through this cancer, her faith did not waver. In fact, her faith became even stronger. So that was beautiful to watch, to witness. After Stephanie passed away on October 31st, first few days was, if I can put it, I don't even know if I could survive to the next minute. You know, all my years of being married, I've never really thought about vows. It's just like you get married, you say a vow is a normal thing to do, and sounds kind of fun, even maybe a bit glamorous. The wedding vow, through good times, through bad times. Good times, easy. Bad times, sickness, for example, it's not just flu or cough. Cancer could be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I think the Lord said, what are you willing to do for your spouse? To what extent are you willing to sacrifice? It's important to understand that and to fulfill it. It is not easy. It is not easy at all. But one of the days when I was at home leaving, I grumbled. You know, I think the Lord hears me grumble a lot. I grumbled and I told the Lord, this house is so empty. It's just me now, my wife's not home anymore. And I think almost instantly the Lord spoke to me that, no, your wife is home. It is you who is still out there. I can't argue with that. And it really touched my heart that this is what God's confirmation is for me, that my wife is really home. I know she's home, but when the Lord tells me she's home, that means the whole world to me. And hearing from the Lord Himself that your wife is home, and it's you who is still out there. And I think the second part is a good reminder to me that I need to keep that goal, that I should go home to, the same home, you know, and then we can have that reunion.
That day at the waterfall, 5 of them went into the water, but none came out. How did it happen? And more importantly, why? Things unfolded really fast that day. Moments before the chaos, the group had just settled down after the long hike. They wanted to eat first before going into the water. But Just like any other good youth group, they sang some songs before doing anything else. Halfway singing, they heard a girl's voice screaming, "Somebody help my dad! My dad is drowning!" And that girl's dad turned out to be none other than the guide who led everyone up there. So they all rushed to the scene. And before anyone knew it, the three of them, Mervyn, Micah, and Kayan, together with another man, jumped into the water to try to save him. It was almost an impossible attempt, as there was a strong, powerful undercurrent that just pulled them all underwater. One by one, they disappeared. My brother Kayan was the last to go down. Someone actually saw him clinging on desperately to a rock. But in the blink of an eye, he was also gone. They tried to form a human chain to go into the water, but failed because the undercurrents were just too strong. One of the guys ran downhill to try to get some help. My other brother, Kavan, was actually there that day also. And all Kavan could have done was just to stand there and shout Kayan's name repeatedly, hoping that his voice could reach him and hoping that he would surface out of the water. I remember when my parents and I got there, our whole family just embraced each other, crying. And I was just so thankful that Kavan didn't jump in as well. I can't imagine what it would have been like to have lost him too. That was 22 years ago. Every now and then, I still think of them, wondering what life would be like if they were still around. They died trying to rescue one man, risking their own lives, hoping to give that man a chance to live. It was a rescue attempt that failed. But I have a hope because of the rescue mission of Jesus that succeeded. Eternal death has been conquered. Through Jesus is the way to life that has eternal value. And that life actually begins here and now and continues on after we die. That was the kind of life that Kayan, Mervyn, and Micah knew and lived. And that is the kind of life that you and I can live in Jesus as well. Kayan, Mervyn, and Micah, I'm proud of the way you all went. It was noble, it was heroic. You made the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of someone you barely even know. And I know that I will see you again someday hereafter.
Though years may pass and seasons change, here in my heart you will remain. I'll hold you close, I won't let go. Though tears may still fall, I will be strong. I'll hold on to hope, I'll carry on. There's comfort within, for this I know. I'll meet you at the mountaintop someday, and you will never fade away.
The one who passed away was my grandma. I call her Mama, and she passed away in April 2010.
My husband passed away 14 years ago due to liver cancer.
My mom passed away mainly due to pneumonia and with an underlying chronic lung disease condition, which she has battled against for many, many years.
She was in the hospital. We brought her back from the hospital, and I was the one that brought her back from the hospital, and we put her to bed. She took a nap, And while she was taking a nap, actually I went out to do on my own things. And a few hours later, my uncle found her in the room, breathless. So she has passed on.
Without him, I had to handle everything by myself. After he passing, I went to Singapore and work. I tried to keep myself busy with my work. In front of my daughter, I had to pretend I am strong and bold in everything.
To be honest, it's 11 years now, and it's still not easy. I live with the guilt that what would happen if I didn't leave the house? Will she still be around? Will she survive if I'm at home? So that guilt haunts me for almost every time I think about her. And I also do live with the fear that she's not with Jesus. Ma, I hope you're with Jesus, and please stay close to Jesus.
There were just so many questions that I had, but I know that you'll be proud of how I have grown through this pain of losing you. Those words that I used to think of as naggings are now values that's ringing so louder than ever before in my head. Values that will stick with me through life, values that I will want to pass down to my own family in the future. I can't wait to share with you all about it when I see you again.
Dear, our daughter had grown up. I'm so proud of her achievements so far. She had owned her own clinic. She will use her profession to spread the love of Jesus to the needy, as you always encourage her when you were around.
India, I just want you to know that I'm okay, fine. I want to thank you that you love God so much. You love people so much. And you did not ever just tell me about faith. I don't think you even realize it then, that all your life is a blueprint of faith. All the years we've been together, that blueprint is the only thing that has kept me going until today. It is not easy for me because you are my whole world. But it helps to know that you are home and that I can also go back to the same home next time. So I remember your advices, I remember your legacy. I will continue that. So I'll do my best for the Lord as you did for Him while I'm still here. I will fulfill my calling. Then, time for me to go home. I'll be perfectly happy all over again.
Great is your love. Oh, how great is your love. Oh, how great is your love. Forever we sing. Great is your love. Oh, how great is your love. Oh, how great is patient and kind. When there's love, there's no envy, no pride. It's not easily angered, so selflessly you have shown the way to live. Oh, my heart is content with the love for my Savior, my Father, my friend. Oh, in you I abide, like the heart of my Savior, I long to have. Faith, hope, love you have shown, and the greatest of all is love. Faith, hope, love you have shown, and the greatest of all is love. Faith, hope, love you have shown, and the greatest of all is love. How great